Mavericks. Oh, yeah. In today's episode, we're tackling big wave surfing in Northern California. And if you've never heard of Mavericks, don't feel bad. For almost 2 decades, no one had. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. I don't get starstruck very often, but I guess I must have totally blanked out when I bumped into Gerard Butler, the Phantom of the Opera and Everything Fallen series, and Den of Thieves more recently, at Chateau Marmont a few years ago, because instead of saying something smart, I blurted out, "I loved how you almost died at Mavericks." The fact that Gerard confirmed and gave me a quick run-through, it did not sound like fun. We'll get back to Mr. Butler in due course. It seems that every surfer on Earth wants to surf Pipeline, but still there are very few shouting from the rooftops that they want to surf Mavericks. Maybe because of that potential dying thing? Mavericks is an insane wave in so many ways. The first time I watched Riding Giants, a big wave surfing documentary by Stacy Peralta, and its take on the Mavericks story, it was like watching a Disney fairy tale. How otherwise would I describe the fact that for decades, a wave that on a good day reaches 20 feet and on an epic day climbs up to 60 feet, stayed hidden from the surf community? And it's not like it's in the middle of nowhere. It's just off Pillar Point and Half Moon Bay, Pumpkin Festival ahoy, and some pretty decent seafood. A 30-minute drive from the Mission in San Francisco where I used to live. And yet, for 15 years, starting in 1975, a local surfer, Jeff Clark, surfed Mavericks alone. Not that he wanted it that way. No. He was happy to have some company in the lineup. But no one wanted to join him. Imagine someone telling you that there is a wave that's like, or better than Waimea on your doorstep. And you just go, You could not make this stuff up. To be fair, 3 other surfers did surf the inside waves at Pillar Point in 1961. And the break is named after a German shepherd, Maverick, who followed the group into the water. Maybe it's the wave mechanics that the surfers didn't appreciate. Maverick's massive waves result from a unique underwater rock formation. A long, sloping ramp slows the way over it, while adjacent deep troughs allow waves to maintain speed. This creates a U-shaped wavefront that focuses energy into a powerful breaking wave. It's a right-hand break, where the waves break in a steep, hollow manner. It can also break left in some unlikely circumstances. What a doozy to surf. And of course, the best times for Mavericks to break are winter months, particularly from November through March, when Pacific storms generate the most significant swells, which means cold temperature dropping to the upper 40s. Lest we forget the fog, strong currents, shallow reef sections, the great whites, and a very long paddle out. Overall, what a fun little wave. No wonder no one wanted to surf it with Jeff and called him Psycho. He finally managed to convince some Santa Cruz and San Francisco surfers to paddle out, and Mavericks came out in 1992 in the edition of Surfer magazine titled Cold Sweat. The break gained further notoriety when Hawaiian big wave surfer Mark Fu died at Mavericks in 1994. Once the break got discovered by the surf community, the insanity ensued. From 1999 to 2016, there was an invitation-only contest called the Titans of Mavericks held at the break during the winter. I remembered the anticipation and checking the forecast. Will it happen this year? Will it not? And then on January 19th, 2013, Peter Mel won the contest. By that point, you could only watch the competition on giant screens. And eventually, in 2019, the WSL cancelled it, citing logistical issues. I think they meant the traffic. It was bloody awful. Right before that season, Chasing Mavericks, starring Gerard Butler, came out. It was a Hollywood tale based on real events. Frosty Hessen teaching young Jay Moriarty how to surf Mavericks. It was a gigantic flop. 32% on Rotten Tomatoes. Made just under $8 million at the box office on a $90 million budget. But there is no taking away from the amazing cinematography of the big Mavericks scene. And of course, the story of Gerard Butler almost dying. What happened was this. During the filming, Gerard was paddling out with Greg Long, Zach Wormhound, and Peter Mel, far, far away from a set of waves in the range of 15 feet, when a much larger set broke just in front of them. Bad luck. Gerard was held under for 2 waves. He and his board got dragged over rocks until a safety jet ski scooped him up. He got taken to the hospital. When I talked to Gerard a few years later about his time at Mavericks, and he was describing being held under as the most terrifying thing in his life, he was talking about almost dying. I guess that's the Mavericks feeling for you. Fast forward, and December 2024 delivered some of the most extraordinary surfing conditions in Mavericks history, with waves soaring over 60 feet. On December 23rd, at 3:15 p.m., exactly 30 years after Mark Fu's death, a 23-year-old Santa Cruz surfer, Alessandro Slebir, reportedly rode a 108-foot wave at Mavericks, potentially setting a new world record. Yesterday, I rode and witnessed some of the biggest waves of my life. This wave was one of many that stood out to me. I like this kid. So modest. There you go. The story of Mavericks. Oh, that. It's spelled both ways, with an apostrophe and without. If you want to learn more about Mavericks, check out Matt Warsher's book titled Mavericks, The Story of Big Wave Surfing. And that's all for today. Check out the Wipeout Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipeout Weekly.